How's it going, everybody? So Chance has been talking about ShadoKai, the trolls, all that hubbubaloo. He's still upset at Morbid Curiosity, and he's under the impression that he's still gonna have this anime that he brought up about 3 days ago. And there have been further developments with this whole anime thing. Cyraxx shows off these toys, action figures, and all kind of stuff that you're gonna be seeing on screen here. And it's so obviously faked, dude. It's so obviously these are not real toys. These things are not actually there. The camera quality is not very great, so that's further cements the idea that this is fake. It is quite a silly series of events with Chance and this bloody ShadoKai idea. Again, I have no idea why he's so obsessed with it. He's been calling it his magnum opus. This is his life's work, and he said this repeatedly over the past few days. But I digress. Let's get into the slop.
That is over on Facebook and on YouTube. What's good? I am here today to prove that I am once and for all the sole owner of the anime series ShadoKai, along with the artwork. Now we're gonna share the whole screen because I want everybody to see this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go right here to my original Facebook profile. Then we're gonna go to my album, which used to be titled Spectors. That was the name for it at the time. Now as you can see, right here is the original art piece for one of the characters that I named Lunecrius at the time. Because at the time I didn't know how to name anything for shit. I sucked. But one thing a lot of people don't know is that when you upload a photo or whatever, like when you upload a photo, you can hover over the date that it was uploaded and you'll get the exact timestamp. Like for this one, as you can see, September 4th, 2012, right? Tuesday, September 4th, 2012 at 1:31 p.m. And now that we did that, we're going to go here. We're going to go into Untitled, go into ShadoKai, scroll all the way down, and go to Saluna, which is this character, as you can see, just with more updated looks. You know, nothing too big. I just replaced and made the white where you guys see. I don't make no funny. You guys see it.
So right off the bat, he's making a huge mistake in calling this character by the wrong name. Really shows on how much he cares about it. But he also calls the character's name stupid, that he couldn't come up with a better name. But Lunecrius or whatever is kind of a cool name. You know, Luna, like the moon. It's got a moon on its head. There's quite a bit of symbolism here, and it makes sense on why this would be called Luna or something relating to the moon. But Chance probably doesn't even know what Luna means, that it's associated with the moon. So he's just gonna say that he named it on a whim, which he does with just about everything. Whenever Cyraxx talks about the names of his creations, he'll just give a number like, "Oh, well, I named this one because I just felt like it. I don't know why I named it, but I just wanted to. I'll roll with it." He does that number. He'll just say that he doesn't know why he names these things, that he just names them to name them. Which I guess you can do that with certain things, but it doesn't feel like he has a lot of passion in these names, and they feel like they were stolen.
Now, there are two individuals that have been trying to steal my work, which are these two people right here. John, who is Music Biz Marty's brother. No RIP to Marty. Now, this motherfucker has sat here in this particular live stream saying that he owns my stuff. This motherfucker, a day prior, pulled a on me during a Discord call when I confronted him, which my good friend CIA Hole got on recording and send it to the proper people. Now, when you go right here, you can see this man clearly trying to steal my work. Right here is one of my pieces. As you can see, this man tried to steal my stuff. And what's funny is when you go here, then you go here. Oh, look. Here's the actual ShadoKai wallpaper that I created with some of the creatures right here. oh look, all the evolved forms of Saluna, all the evolved forms of this creature, and that creature, and this creature, and the base form of this creature right here. But what old boy don't realize is my stuff's already in production.
Now, Cyraxx has been at war with John for a while, and there was that moment where he believed that John was also Morbid Curiosity, and that Morbid Curiosity is also Marty's brother in that case. I don't know why he believes John is related to Marty. I don't know if he is, but still, Cyraxx believes it. But you can hear him talking about ShadoKai, and he's still calling Luncreus by the wrong name. He's calling it by Saluna. And he doesn't call anything else by their names, like this yellow tiger one, or this dragon. I don't know what the names of them are. A real creator would know the names of his creations. Like, art pieces have names given to them by their creators, Chance. And it's glaringly obvious that you did not come up with any of these, and they're either A, stolen, or B, AI generated. Most likely B in that case, but still, he's just doing this and taking it. There's nothing else he cares about other than ShadoKai right now, and he believes it's under production, like he said in that clip. In which, if it is under production, wouldn't you talk with the company about this and they will handle it? But in other news, Cyraxx goes on to talk about how the trolls sent him an Xbox that was booby-trapped. It was booby-trapped, like everything that he ever receives from them. In which the Xbox was tripping the breaker of 339, and he says that there were sparks flying out of the breaker box and that he had to stomp out a fire. It's just a bunch of ridiculous nonsense that's obviously not true. Cyraxx doesn't know how to stamp out a fire. I don't believe that for a second. Nor do I think that he would go check out the breaker box over somebody like Ed. But I digress. Let's go ahead and check this out. This was quite an event.
I know last night I talked a little bit about what happened as a result of what these trolls have done to me. But I want to dive deeper into something that was very important to me that I lost out on in my life because of what they've done. You see, about 4 to 5 years ago, I got my very first racing rig. And I started practicing on games like Forza Horizon 1 and Forza Horizon 4. Needless to say, I had a natural knack for it. And so the more I practiced, the better I got. And I eventually got so good that I ended up taking my skills over to Twitch. Over there, I started making money, racing, competing, doing every style of racing that you can think of. Everything from drift events, drag racing, all the way down to rally and NASCAR events. And I was doing good too. I competed in a few major events for amateurs and was doing good. I was slowly proving myself. But it would be on the rally stages of Dirt Rally 2.0 and the rally competitions held through Forza Horizon 4. Then where I would find my grounds for what style I'm best with. Now don't get me wrong, I absolutely love drifting. I love it. It's one of my favorite styles of racing ever. But for me, rally is where I am best. Needless to say, I started to do really good.
So we enter this video to him talking about his former racing career and how he used to play all these different racing games, and he did play them. Now he's saying that it was going good, that it was going well, that he was attending all these different competitions, but in all actuality, he was not doing well at all in any of this. He would not win a race unless if his opponent got disqualified. If his opponent did not get disqualified, it is highly unlikely that Chance would win the race. I can't say that I've seen Cyraxx drive a car without ramming it into the side of a wall. He's just not good at racing, and he can't admit it. He said the other day that he doesn't have his license, but he knows how to drive a car because that makes a whole lot of sense. Like, why? He also wants to buy a car before getting his driver's license. I'm not gonna show you it, but I'm gonna tell you that this is actually something that he said. His obsession with cars and racing is just so strange because, again, he doesn't have a license and he didn't grow up around car culture, nor does he hang out with anybody who owns like a really nice car.
I was very happy to have them. I was making money, I was living my life, I was helping my family pay bills, and I was doing all that right from my Xbox. First check that I got from Twitch, payout wise, I bought my first PC, and I ran with that for a long time. And I've streamed from my Xbox to Twitch, and I had a normal stream setup. I would have the screen over on the side as I was doing my job. And I ran with that for about 3.5 years. Up until a couple of years ago, when one of my really good friends, who was gracious enough to not only send me a full-blown replica of Tanjiro's sword from Demon Slayer, which is one of my favorite animes of all time, but he also was gracious enough to actually go out and have a custom, traditionally made Japanese Oni mask made for me. And I do mean traditional in the original old school ways, which is a very, very rare thing to have happen. So for him to do that for me was absolutely incredible. Well, he was also gracious enough to bless me with a brand new Logitech, not Logitech, but a brand new SkyTech gaming PC.
Okay, this is the biggest, fattest lie I've ever heard from him. Him buying his own gaming PC. If you did buy your own gaming PC, where is it, Chance? Did it just disappear out of existence? You only have the one computer in your room that's broken. I mean, he has said it this before. He said that he only has a Chromebook or 2 Chromebooks. One of them barely works, a tablet, and some other little gadgets that don't really function properly. He complains about this all the time if you watch him. But he goes on to talk about this guy giving him the Oni mask and giving him the computer and the sword, and I don't know whether all of that's true or not, but I do know that somebody gave him the computer, not sure who, can't remember, but I will say that everything he said about Twitch was a big fat lie.
Needless to say, all this stuff that's happened, it's ruined a lot of my life. These people, their ultimate goal is to see me homeless. That's what they want from me. Their ultimate goal that they will not tell anybody is to wait things out until my mom passes away in 20 plus years and make it to where I end up homeless. They want to make me homeless so I cannot have a house of my own, to where I cannot have a car of my own, where I have no career, where I can't do anything. And I can tell you guys right now, you don't know how much I miss being behind the wheel, earning a living, doing what I absolutely enjoy more than anything in the world. Whether I'm behind the wheel or behind the trigger on games like Call of Duty or Fortnite, it's what I love. It's what I do best. It's what I'm best at. It's the one thing that brings me joy in life. If I'm not behind that trigger, you can bet your ass that I'm fucking cruising out with my friends on games like Forza Horizon 4, Forza Horizon 5. For me, it's not about being the best. For me, driving, for me, isn't just about being the top driver in the world. No. For me, I do it for 2 reasons. For the love of motorsports and to keep my brother's memory alive. My brother is the one that inspired me to start racing, and I would love to get back into it. But the problem is,
so a lot of what he's saying is wild to me for several different reasons. One, he's not your brother, he's your uncle. He's your biological uncle. Yes, he's legally your brother, but he is literally your uncle. So I don't know why he calls him by brother all the time. It's just bizarre. I don't even know if he knows that this is his uncle and not his brother, because for the longest time he's been calling his Uncle William his brother, and I just never understood that, but he constantly does it. But about Fortnite and racing, he's not any better at Fortnite than he is at racing. He's horrible at Fortnite. I've seen him play it before, and if you go watch him play, you can see him absolutely suck at the game. He can't aim, he's not very good at it. The only way he is able to be good is if he has some kind of handicap on. So I don't know what kind of professional league he would ever be on because he's just not skilled enough to join anything like that. But regardless, he's about to go on his little tirade about what happened last night in which the Xbox tripped the breaker.
After what happened recently, my family doesn't trust anyone to send me anything anymore. At least not electronics-wise. Because what people don't know is a couple days ago, we received an Xbox that I plugged into the wall thinking it was brand new. And it short-circuited our breaker box downstairs and cut our electricity for over 10 minutes. And the spark was so huge that it almost caught our house on fire. Thankfully, the spark that shot out dissipated right as it hit the ground. Thankfully, it hit the wood floor and I stomped it out before anything happened. And I know everything I'm saying sounds wild and crazy, and I know it sounds out there. But if you do your digging and you do your research, you'll actually see that everything that has happened to me is real. It's very, very real. And honestly, I wish it wasn't. I wish to God that it wasn't real. I wish that I could go back to a normal life where I was doing what I love, living out one of my dreams of being a pro streamer and a full-time sim racer, you know, and just doing gaming in general. I miss it. Right now, I am running on nothing but 2 Chromebooks, a cell phone, and a tablet. That's all I'm running on. I don't have anything else. I have nothing other than 2 Chromebooks, one of which is barely hanging on by 1 hinge and a few screws and some makeshift duct tape made out of stickers. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you. If you guys don't see that, that's my setup. A Chromebook from 2015 that barely runs. Hanging on by 1 hinge, held together by stickers and a few screws on the bottom.
He's talking about all these electronics, like this is the little food that he has, like this is the little water I'm allowed to have. I'm struggling so hard out here. You know, that's kind of what he's acting like. Chance, dude, these electronics, they are a privilege, not a right. Like, yeah, I get it. You like your electronics, I do too. But at the end of the day, you broke them. You're the one who put the kill stick into multiple different consoles and computers. The warning signs were there and you decided to not listen to them, and instead you put the fucking USB drive into multiple different electronics and broke them. That's what you did, Chance, and what I don't get is why you constantly complain about the stuff that you broke. But regardless, Cyraxx is gonna make this claim that he needs new toys to continue his music career, his gaming career, all that junk, so let's get back into it.
I would love to start collaborating with streamers again and, you know, collaborating with friends again on videos and having a good time. I would love to be able to do that again so badly, but unfortunately I can't because I don't have a proper setup. Neither of my computers work. They're both destroyed. My Xboxes, both of them are bricked, shut out entirely. Neither of them work at all. My family, we're just barely getting by on bills. My family can't afford a new setup for me. And I know the trolls are gonna sit here and they're gonna laugh and they're gonna poke fun. I have no gaming console. At all. The last time I got to hang out with any of my friends on any kind of gaming console was back in March of this year. That's when I was competing on a regular basis in Cyraxx Drift and doing gaming like Call of Duty through my Microsoft account, which, like I said, because of these people, I don't have anything. My family's not rich. We're barely getting by on bills. You know, we can barely afford to pay payments for doctor's bills. We can barely afford to pay rent each month. And it seems like everything I try to do to make money, these trolls either mass report me, steal what I'm doing to make money for themselves, or they do what they can to scare the people off that are trying to help me. And I can tell you right now that if I was given a fair shot to make my dreams happen again, I would take it serious. If I had the proper setup and I was told that I have 1 year without anybody interfering, without anybody getting in the way, without anybody doing anything to interfere with my content and what I'm doing and what I'm trying to build, if you told me I had 1 year to hit 1,000 subscribers and to start making money again, I would take that very seriously and I would make it happen.
Now that was quite a bit of a long clip there, but Chance is talking about how his family doesn't make enough money, how they're struggling with bills and rent and pretty much everything. Well, Chance, if you really need money this desperately, then go do something else. This clearly has not been working out for you for several years now. And it'll be several years more of things not working out because they haven't worked out in the past 8 years. You said it yourself. And plus, he's just completely bipolar about all of this stuff. If you remember the other day, he was talking about how his life is going to change because the company that he's working with to make ShadoKai is going to give him a lawyer and that he's going to succeed. Cyraxx flip-flops constantly. Like, it can be a day and his entire mood and view on his life will change dramatically. This is why he quits careers so often and why he claims failure and victory on repeat over and over and over again, because he just completely changes his mindset. And he usually changes his mindset based on whatever he saw that day. It's no real long-term effect on him. So by next week, he's probably going to be claiming victory, and then the week after, he's going to be acting like he's failed or something. But regardless of whatever happens with Chance, I got some shout outs to do. Now I'd like to shout out Trixie Bella, JoJo's Woodshed, Mark Pena, Christopher Zazel, Philip Oncom, Raxlab's Trademark, Whiskey Pink 42, Loopy, Dudester, Fearless Jake, Vilify Exile, Unknown Poster, Smithers, Sauce, Nico Suave, Only Wise Hermit, Jolanda, Not a Lizard Man Honest, Sweaty Prolapse, Tubby Thunder 43, Jeff of David Clan, Okie Doll, Dreadhead David 420, Halloween Nerd, Slappy, Wild Weaver Gaming, Madam Gooseberry, also David Grunga, Jason Cruel, Delray, Depressed Rabbit, Bread VT, Zol Champion of First Claw, Oversoul, The Black Pearl, Edward Walden Hain, Nick Cliff, Atomic Renegade, Steve's Creepy Van, Evan Reed, Curse Decals, Lord of Worlds, TJ Binder, James, Honda Civic, Tanis Finest, Obadason, Bakano Sensei, Mochi Cakes, Mad 33s, and Dark Chocolate. Thank you guys for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.